Well, welcome back, Wolfpack. Verlis here with some spicy Pokemon news to talk about today, because it looks like the release date for the next Pokemon Sword and Shield trailer has been teased by the Japanese Pokemon Twitter account with this post right here. So this is following up on the Max Raid Battle event that has been going on for the last couple of weeks, dealing with exclusive Gigantamax Pokemon. So Gigantamax Pikachu and Eevee, those are only available as a gift, one per save, if you have save data for Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu or Eevee, and then Gigantamax Meowth was only available through an online mystery gift if you received it during a certain time after the game came out. Now, the interesting thing is, there is a limited supply of Pikachu and Eevee, but Meowth is just no longer available. Or at least it was no longer available until it just became available with this event right here. And another big thing to note is that this is a huge milestone. These final Max Raid Battle events mean that we have received all of the Gigantamax Pokemon through these events in Pokemon Sword and Shield, so this is kind of like capping off the life cycle of non-DLC Pokemon Sword and Shield. Like, everything's done. We've 100%ed it, which is what makes this post so interesting, because it's also being done differently compared to the other posts of the same event. Because if we look at Eevee, Eevee ended at 9 a.m. Japan time. This one is ending at 10 p.m. Japan time. Now, some of you guys that might be paying like a lot of attention to how Pokemon news reveals and trailers work might understand where this is going, but 10 p.m. JST is 6 a.m. Pacific time. 6 a.m. Pacific time is when we get our new Pokemon trailers. So it just seems like it fits too well to kind of change the time when this event is going to end, capping off a major trio event that has spanned the course of several weeks, that is also finalizing Pokemon Sword and Shield, to then keep people inside that news cycle and just go, by the way, new trailer. Because, like, yeah, when it comes to the interaction engagement that we see with the Japanese Twitter, as well as just like other official Pokemon news outlets, it just seems like this is all going to fall into place. You know, this event ends, you're hungry for the next Max Raid Battle event, and then a new trailer comes out. Now, I don't know if this Max Raid Battle event is also going to like tie back into Pokemon Sword and Shield with the trailer, or if it's just like, yo, now it's time to have our Pokemon Isle of Armor trailer kind of keeping everything in check. And also just kind of lines up because that's going to be June 2nd. Well, we had June 5th for like the first big trailer for Pokemon Sword and Shield since it was announced. And then we had the second trailer for July 8th, so still keeping it early on in the month, and it just kind of kept on going from there. We have August 7th. I guess this trailer kind of doesn't count for mid-August because this trailer was more about competitive, didn't reveal us any new Pokemon, and it tied in with Worlds and just gave us like some new items and stuff. But then we had September 4th and so on. So the reveals for Pokemon Sword and Shield were really weird. But when it came to like a major trailer announcement, it was going to be happening kind of to kick off the month. Even with the expansion pass announcement trailer, that was January 9th. That, like, Pokemon Day was something different entirely, because Pokemon Day, that's what we had the reveal for Zarude, and Zarude is more tied in with the movie than the Isle of Armor, and weird stuff like that. So, yeah, it's like Pokemon Day, that's the new game announcement, or that's like some kind of big reveal, but they just like immediately said, hey guys, we have some expansion pass shenanigans that are being worked on. So it also kind of lines up a bit more with this trailer coming out early June, and then we're just kind of like going into other histories of Pokemon, even going back to like Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, Pokemon Sun and Moon, Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, the reveals for those kinds of games, because we're in reveal season, and we already know, like, we know more about the midway Pokemon game than ever before, since we have like all this info about the Isle of Armor and the expansion pass. And even then, with like a kind of recent trailer just randomly dropped in late March, it's kind of like, hey, you know most of what's going on, we're still going to give you guys a little taste of what's coming up. So everything, like, pretty much the summary is everything's wild, and everything's been wild since Pokemon Sun and Moon kind of broke how Pokemon reveals go. We can still make sense of it a little bit. And it just kind of feels like, well, E3 is canceled for reasons, but that hasn't stopped Nintendo. Like, Nintendo randomly announced a new Paper Mario game, and they haven't really done like any kind of Nintendo Directy things. And there's also a lot of leaks and rumors going on saying that, oh, Nintendo's just going to keep revealing their otherwise E3 lineup, just like, hey, here's a trailer. Hey, here's some news. Hey, here's some stuff. We still have a new Animal Crossing update that's going to be coming out. We still have reveals for the new DLC fighters in Super Smash Bros. And then the Isle of Armor trailer, which is one of the most anticipated things that Nintendo has to offer. So of course we're going to be getting a trailer in early-ish June, like we normally get trailers for Pokemon video games. Like, if we're going back to Pokemon Sun and Moon, Game Freak had no chill. June 2nd. June 2nd. June 2nd, you know, just June 2nd. But yeah, like, there were so many trailers, there was so much information, because we had started Pokemon for Pokemon Sun and Moon. That was kind of early on in May. Then went to June with just a trailer kind of elaborating on some of the things, and just very shortly after that, less than 2 weeks, this was E3. The E3 reveal was like playing through the early part of the game, and then they had a trailer, and then they had the new discovered Pokemon. So they were cramming in tons of information, but getting an early June trailer pretty much for any reason is not outside of Game Freak, even with or without E3. So this is just going to be like the big drop preparing for the Isle of Armor, and I think it still just kind of like adds up and makes even more sense. And then we still have some other things going on. I don't think this is like teasing when the Isle of Armor is going to be released. It's not like this is going, oh, June 12th to June 19th. That means we get the Isle of Armor on June 19th or June 20th or something. It doesn't really work that way. And I've also been seeing a lot of just pure idiocy and nonsense with people talking about how, oh, the Isle of Armor's been delayed because of the global thing that's going on. But if you actually go to this page right here, which is the most recent information that we have about the Isle of Armor, the Pokemon Company says still releases by the end of June 2020. I think that's the big thing to take care of. They keep saying the end of June, so trying to make anything out of mid-ish June doesn't really make sense, but getting a trailer as we are now finishing off all of the Gigantamax Pokemon through Max Raid Battle events, that makes a lot more sense. And then we can actually maybe get a direct release date, or at some point, like, we're getting into June. In at least a month from now, like, unless they do like a weird June 28th through the 30th or something, there's a really good chance we're going to be playing this time next month in the Isle of Armor, so we need a release date here pretty soon, and what better with the next trailer, especially as like all of this other crazy stuff is going on. So people are going to be hype, anticipating the next Max Raid Battle event, and then it's just going to be Isle of Armor information. Or if it isn't the Isle of Armor trailer, that just leaves us with one more Pokemon, and that's Gigantamax Melmetal. And that would also make sense because, kind of like I just showed off here, we had like this random off trailer into the real information more around mid-June when E3 is going to be happening. Also, that gives Game Freak a bit more time to kind of dial in when the Isle of Armor is going to be released. So I could also see that Tuesday morning, 6 a.m., that's when we have the Gigantamax Melmetal event beginning. That runs for 2 weeks. 2 weeks later, that's when we're going to have the trailer for the Isle of Armor as that concludes, and then everything is done for Pokemon Sword and Shield, and that just pushes us into whatever other crazy stuff needs to be revealed. Because, like, who even knows? Who even knows at this point what Game Freak is up to? Because we have a long history of wild trailers and reveals, and we're just kind of like all over the place with potential things that could be happening with Pokemon Isle of Armor. Like, there's more features that are going to be happening with the expansion pass. The big question is, how much are they going to show in the next trailer that's new? Because I think they need to have a big draw. I think Game Freak understands that they can't really drop the ball with the Isle of Armor, especially since it has so much weight going into the Crown Tundra. So there's probably going to be a new big feature that's revealed with that, and hopefully it still doesn't show everything that the Isle of Armor has to offer, and then we still have like all kinds of crazy stuff. So we know new items, we have the new tutor moves, and that might be it. They might like show how the tutor feature works, they might show more about restricted sparring, and then we might find out more about those moves that were data mined recently. So that would be a thing. I wouldn't be against it. It's like, just because an information was data mined doesn't mean it isn't new. When it's officially revealed, then that's when it is officially released and stuff like that. So that's what people were saying about like Marshadow and Zeraora. That's like, oh, they're not new, we already knew about them, but we didn't officially know about them, so it didn't count. With this, if we get just like a deeper look as to what's going on with the tutors, that'd be pretty hype, and it still means there could be some new features. So hopefully we find out what Game Freak has up its sleeve pretty soon, either June 2nd or June like 16th, 15th-ish, and then they're gonna be like, Isle of Armor coming out June 20-something. And then we will know everything. But overall, it looks like we have something to kind of keep our eye out for. Now, we got a couple of days, we got like a week until all of this unfolds, but at least Pokemon like isn't super dead. You still have a reason to kind of participate right now with the Max Raid battle events. Isle of Armor's coming out next month, so you need to start working into the game, and that's what I really like about this stuff right here, that, you know, you might as well participate. 100 EXP candies and 50 big nuggets. 100 large EXP candies gets a Pokemon to level 100, and a little bit extra on top of that. 50 big nuggets buys you a lot of vitamins. So, I mean, you're effectively getting 4 hidden ability Pokemon, some evolutions, but then this one right here. If you claim any one event, by the way, these are just like simple free ones. You go, mystery gift via internet, done. Just do it in the time frame. It's super free, super easy, doesn't even take a minute. But if you do that, that's 2 competitive Pokemon right there. And you can use those resources in the Isle of Armor, where we're getting new Pokemon. And I feel like that would even be a satisfying trailer, just a trailer showing off more of the Isle of Armor, and also some of the returning Pokemon. I thought they were going to do that for April or May, because it really would have taken nothing away from the reveal, and only built up hype if they did like a look at the Pokemon returning in the Galar region, or, you know, some kind of returning Pokemon look, and then they just kind of showed off a little bit right there. So there's still a lot. The Game Freak has a show for the next trailer, and then the Isle of Armor comes out, and then a couple months Crown Tundra, and then we're looking at Gen 4 remakes. So we kind of weathered the slow part, and Game Freak did drop a little bit in to keep it interesting. So as long as the Isle of Armor adds more longevity, adds more replayability, brings some health, hopefully a balance patch into Pokemon Sword and Shield competitive, then that means the game's gonna have some sticking power, and it just gets really cool as like the big features come out for the Ground Tundra, because that's like the co-op play mode, legendary Pokemon, and just a lot of extra exploration. So if you guys enjoyed the video, hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.